What if you remove the 10 largest countries in the world from Earth? For reference, the 10 largest countries are Russia, Canada, the United States, China, Brazil, Australia, India, Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Algeria. This list includes 1 country from Africa, 2 from South America, 1 from Oceania, 2 from North America, and 3 from Asia. Notably, Russia, which spans both Europe and Asia, has a significantly larger Asian portion. This distribution of countries from different corners of the planet is quite balanced. For the largest country solely in Europe, that would be Ukraine, which stretches just over 600,000 square kilometers and ranks as the 45th largest country in the world. Combined, the 10 largest countries cover over 70 million square kilometers, which is more than double the size of Africa. So, what would the world map look like if we started removing each of these countries one by one? Let's begin by removing Russia. This alone creates a massive change, revealing a huge gap in northern Asia. The Caspian Sea is now connected to the world's oceans, with the Arctic Ocean to the north and the Pacific Ocean to the east. China becomes the largest country in Asia, and Canada becomes the world's largest country. Now, let's remove Canada. This opens the floodgates to both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, which now meet north of mainland USA. Alaska becomes an island, disconnected from the American landmass. I wonder if the US would build a bridge from the southern tip of Alaska to Washington state if we stopped here. Different sources rank China and the US differently, but for this video, we'll consider China as the 3rd largest and remove it from our map. India then becomes the largest country in Asia. The Korean peninsula becomes an island, and Mongolia is barely clinging to the Asian landmass. Hong Kong becomes a tiny island in the South China Sea, situated between Taiwan and Vietnam, assuming Taiwan and Hong Kong disconnect from China. The Himalayas and many Asian countries are now connected to the Pacific. Kazakhstan is no longer landlocked and can now thrive with new industries and trade routes across Asia and the world. Next, let's say goodbye to the United States, the world's largest economy. North America is now significantly impacted, with Mexico emerging as the largest country on the continent. Japan now has the largest economy on the planet, and Brazil, in South America, takes the title of the world's largest country. Removing Brazil leads to the loss of much of the world's biological diversity and leaves South America split in half. The continent now has its western borders touching the Pacific and its eastern borders the Atlantic. Next, let's remove Australia. As the 6th largest country, its removal doesn't change much due to its remote location. New Zealand becomes even more isolated. Now, we remove India. This action connects the Pacific to the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka becomes more isolated, Bhutan becomes an island, and the Southeast Asian nations form their own landmass. Removing Argentina makes South America even thinner, causing Uruguay to become an island country. Chile becomes a surfer's paradise with large waves from the Atlantic, now that Argentina is gone. Back to Asia, removing Kazakhstan, which was once the world's largest landlocked country, leaves Mongolia as the world's 2nd largest island country, behind Indonesia. This creates new trade routes from Bangladesh and Southeast Asia to Europe. Ukraine becomes a crucial cargo shipping country. Finally, we remove Algeria, the 10th largest country and the 1st from Africa. This doesn't change the map significantly but opens up Western African nations to the ocean, boosting their economies through trade with Southern Europe. So, this is how the world looks after removing the 10 largest countries. The Americas are heavily affected, Australia is gone, and Asia is mostly wiped out. Africa remains largely untouched, and Europe, excluding Russia, is left intact. Europe dominates with NATO and the EU becoming the world's most powerful entities. Africa's economy, quality of life, and global influence increase significantly. Indonesia becomes the superpower of Asia, while Japan has the largest economy, followed by Germany, the UK, France, Italy, Iran, South Korea, Mexico, Spain, and Indonesia. Indonesia is now the most populated country in Asia, followed by Pakistan, Nigeria, and Bangladesh. The Democratic Republic of Congo becomes the largest country at 2.3 million square kilometers, followed by Saudi Arabia or Denmark, if Greenland is included, and then Mexico. Greenland's appearance on the map is quite distorted due to the Mercator projection. So, there you have it. This is what the world could look like if we removed the 10 largest countries. We hope you enjoyed this exploration as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon in our next fun and interesting video.